What's up? How you doing? Beautiful night tonight. Beautiful night. It's very mild. I'm detecting no breeze, nothing. Right now there's no breeze. I don't feel anything. It's just pleasant night. So tonight we're making pork loin, pork chops, whatever. It's all there. So these are the normal thickness ones. And then my wife says they're too thick, so I have to tell the butcher to give me a custom cut, and he cuts them in half for her. So then, you know, you get these little baby things that don't even produce a shadow. That's how thin they are. So I'm going to spice them up. Very simple stuff here. Salt, pepper, garlic, and for a little bit of color I add a little bit paprika for color. Now I'm going to cook that on the grill. Just going to add the ingredients on there. And I was looking when I was buying these, and right next to them was lamb. I cannot stand lamb. I'm not a fan of the flavor. You know, anytime I mention that to somebody and they like lamb, they always say to me, "Oh, you haven't had it the way my wife makes it." And I'm thinking in my head when they say that, what are the odds that your wife in this entire universe is the only one that can spice the lamb up just right so it tastes good? The odds of that is zero. Zero. And not only that, if you have to add all kind of things to the lamb to make it taste good, then the lamb is awful. You know, and that's, you know, for me it's not good. I mean, I'll go to a place, a house, they're cooking lamb on a grill, and you're looking at it and you go, wow, that looks tasty. And then they're done with it and they put it on a plate, they start cutting it up, and you take a taste and you go, awful. I've never met anybody that prefers lamb over ribeye or lamb over New York's strip. If it's cooked the right way, those meats are 1,000 times better than lamb. Lamb, you know, I don't know, there must have been a guy a long time ago, he was starving to death, and he was looking at the lamb, and he was thinking, should I die, or should I take a chance on that animal? And he took a chance, and he lived. And then he told everybody the story. Hey, you know, I was dying, and I had that animal, and I lived. And more people started trying it out. But the only reason you would have lamb is because the cow is missing. Can't find any cow. If you could find, you know, bull, cow, steer, those animals, you wouldn't be bothering with the lamb. Matter of fact, I'd rather have a mongoose than lamb. But yeah, you always run into this person that, you know, oh, you gotta try the way my wife makes it. You're biased. You're biased. I'm telling you, lamb is awful. Lamb is almost as bad as watching Star Wars. Awful movie. It's like the worst movie ever made, Star Wars. Anyway, I'm gonna add some salt here. Should have brought out 2 plates, but that's okay. Look at that thickness. Now I don't eat pork that often, and I definitely do not eat the fat in between the muscle. I eat the muscle part. I don't eat the fat. Many years ago, I was talking to somebody, and a little bit more there. And we were talking about, you know, steaks and stuff. So I was over their house, and they made me some steaks, you know, a few days after that conversation. And I was eating, I think they made ribeye, but I was eating the ribeye. Yeah, I should have brought another plate out, but so I was eating the ribeye, but I wasn't eating the fat. I was cutting the fat with my knife, and I was separating it next to the empty part of the plate. I was eating the, you know, the red meat. And they looked at me and they said, I wish I could do that. I go, what? They said, I wish I could avoid eating the fat. And I was watching them eating the fat, you know, and I was like, I can't eat the fat like that. I would have to be starving to death. It would have to be like 1938, Great Depression going on, and I haven't eaten in like 2-3 days. You know, I mean, I could eat it if I had to, but I don't have to. All right. I don't know who decided to eat lamb first, but they made a mistake. It's like somebody said, hey, you know, there's a lot of grizzly bears around here. Let's cook some grizzly bears up. They don't, I mean, I'm sure people have eaten grizzly bears, but it's not common in this country, at least. You know, it's just not common. Plus, I hear grizzly bears are a little bit greasy. This pepper smells great. Great smelling pepper. These probably need a little salt. The salt is, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but Himalayan salt. Really comes from Pakistan. Beautiful country, Pakistan. Yeah, I can't believe it's going to start raining anytime, any moment. It's so nice right now. Garlic. Gotta watch out with this, it just pours out sometimes, but I don't care. Garlic, you can never have too much. Too much is never enough. I used to eat a lot of garlic years ago. I cut back. I went to therapy for garlic. And they put me on a 25-step program. So I quit garlic. Not quit it, I cut back. I used to eat a lot of garlic. Went to the garlic therapy place. People standing up, everybody confessing, you know, how much garlic they eat. I stood up and I said, my record is 2.5 bulbs. 2.5 bulbs. In one sitting. You know, like I sat down and I cut them up into thin pieces. I added olive oil, mixed them up, and then on Wonder Bread I made sandwiches and I ate 2.5 bulbs within like 20 minutes, maybe less. So there was an intervention. People from around my town came by and they put me in a room and they talked to me. They said, you know, this garlic thing is getting out of control. Maybe you should go to rehab. So had to go to rehab for garlic. That's it. Never had any other kind of problem, but yeah, the garlic. Now I've cut back. I've learned how to control myself when it comes to garlic. But tonight, inside right now, I'm cooking in the oven garlic toast. But it's way below my my 2.5 bulbs record. I feel like one day I want to break that on camera. I want to go like 3. I don't want to have a relapse though, you know, with the garlic. Love that smell of garlic. I went to Gilroy one year. Gilroy, garlic capital of the world. And the second I entered it, and the sign said, "Welcome to Gilroy," this crazy, crazy, overwhelming smell of garlic. It was like overwhelming. Felt like somebody, you know, was spraying garlic extract. Very powerful. All right. I don't know if I'm going to add paprika. I think that's good enough. We'll use the paprika for something else. It's not really doesn't add the flavor like a lot of people. Oh, paprika, and they think that it's hot. It's not hot. This paprika is mild. It's not even mild. It's nothing. It's like neutral. You know. So anyway, I'm gonna go wash my hands because I don't know. Just a little bit like I feel like I'm touching slime. All right. Well, I'm going to put them on the fire, I'm going to cook them, and then inside we're going to eat them. And life goes on, and on and on. Another day, another day. Alright, that's it for now. Ciao. Alright, I'm back. Put the pork on the grill, have a few minutes here. So this past weekend I was thinking about Neil Diamond. Had his songs on my mind all weekend. Couldn't get them out. You know when you have a song playing in your head and you can't get it out, you have to go and smell parsley or something to get the song out, or something like that. But anyway, I was just humming Neil Diamond. I used to think Neil Diamond was like a made-up name. I go, okay, Neil, that's got to be his, but Diamond, that's like a rock star name. Diamond Dave, Neil Diamond, but nope, that's his real name. So I was first introduced to Neil Diamond's music through the song Forever in Blue Jeans. I am a huge fan of that song. That's the song you hear and the part of your brain that is for crushes on girls activates. I don't know why, but I hear that song and I feel like I have a crush on somebody. You know, not now, but back when it first came out. You know, there's always like these girls in your class and you hear that song and he's like looking around like you had a crush on them. But yeah, it's a cool song, Forever in Blue Jeans. But this weekend I was humming the song I Am, I Said. It came out in 1971. That is one of the best songs ever written. Like, really good tune. You know, just the energy, the emotion, everything in that song is perfect, including the guitar playing at the beginning, the intro. I am, I said, to no one there, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. That's a mind-blowing, clever line. Like, no one heard, not even the chair. It's very clever. I appreciate clever lyrics that have meaning behind them. I do not appreciate obvious lyrics that have the meaning right in front of you and it's just hitting you off the head with the meaning. Anybody could write, you know, lyrics like that. But yeah, I was thinking of Neil Diamond all weekend. A lot of people don't know this that are, you know, under the age of 40, but Neil Diamond was huge. Neil Diamond was huge at one time. I mean, he's still, you know, I mean, still a name that people recognize. But, you know, I remember the 70s and 80s, late 60s. Neil Diamond was on the charts all the time. All the time. So I've always been a fan of his. I'm saddened that he has Parkinson's disease now. I hope that it's not advancing quickly. I mean, he's up there. He's like 80, 81 years old. And I remember when The Jazz Singer came out. I actually saw that back then. I haven't seen it since, but I remember I enjoyed it. Had a lot of sad songs on it. Love on the Rocks. Very sad song when you hear the lyrics to that. You know, very sad. But yeah, I appreciate Neil Diamond. And I'll tell you what, you know, I don't know where he gets those shirts from, where he goes and he wears them during concerts. Those are fancy shirts. That's uniquely Neil Diamond. You know. But in that song, it says that in LA rents are cheap. It's hard to believe that back in 1971, rent was cheap in LA. I have a hard time believing that. But that's what the song says. You know, palm trees grow and rents are low. I know about the palm trees, but the rents were low back then. So yeah, but yeah, that's that movie. I have to see it again. I mean, I remember, I don't know, I think they wanted him to become a rabbi or something, and he wanted to become a singer. I think that's what it was about, but I have to see it again. And I don't really think about Neil Diamond as a jazz singer. I don't know why they named it The Jazz Singer. That was like another movie. Was that guy Al Jolson or something, the jazz singer? I don't know why they named his movie The Jazz Singer. Shouldn't have been like the rock star or the rock singer or something like that. I mean, he even wrote Red Red Wine. You know, you don't really think of Neil Diamond as being part of that song, but that's the brains behind that song, Neil Diamond. And that is a rock star name. Diamond. You know, it's like he made it up, but he didn't. Anyway, yeah. But Forever in Blue Jeans. Everything about that song is perfect. The vocals, the lyrics, the music, everything. You know, I appreciate, you know, songs like that. They just can't get out of my head. And, you know, I listen to new music. I'm one of those guys that's old now, but I still listen to brand new stuff from new artists. You know, I give them a shot. The difference is that the emotion is not the same anymore. Back then it was, the old songs were full of human emotion because human beings created them from scratch. And now, yeah, human beings create them, but AI has a lot to do with it too. The instruments sound artificial, but I do listen to a lot of new stuff. I like The Weeknd. There's a lot of new artists I like. But in terms of raw emotion, the old rock stars, the old musicians, they had an advantage in that field, that emotional, you know, tugging at your heartstrings. Yeah, back then it was, you know, it was more human feeling, the song, human touch to it. Now it's like that artificial intelligence has taken over. You know, Karen Carpenter, what a voice. Love the Carpenters. It's Yesterday Once More. It's an awesome song. I mean, just, you know, you think about those songs and they're so good. It's Yesterday Once More. It's that song, when I was young, I'd listen to the radio, waiting for my favorite song. When they'd play it or something, I'd sing along. It made me smile. It's Yesterday Once More. That is an awesome song by the Carpenters, and her voice was like smooth butter. You know, she died young. Very sad story, anorexia. But you know, I knew about the Carpenters even when she was alive. I was a fan of theirs. I'm a fan today. They don't make music like that anymore. Top of the World is another awesome song, but yeah, the Carpenters, and the arrangement by Richard Carpenter was, you know, unbelievable. Unbelievable. He was a great arranger. I mean, he had the vision for what a song should sound like, and she had the voice, great voice. I miss Karen Carpenter. I mean, I wish that you know, there was a way. You know, I mean, this ridiculous thing called anorexia took her out, but I wish that didn't happen. We got robbed. Great talent. It's Yesterday Once More. Even the title is awesome. So, Superstar. Yeah, I wish I saw the Carpenters live. So yeah, anyway, that's it. You know, like I said, I do listen to new material now, new artists. I give them a shot. I listen to them a lot. I even have the hottest hits radio station on. I listen to that a lot. But if you're going to be honest about it, the musicians from the past, they were able to create songs and music that connected to you emotionally more than they do now. And maybe I'm a little jaded. Maybe somebody from this generation, you know, somebody who's like 18 to 25 right now, they would disagree. They would listen to the stuff I listened to back in the old days and say, yeah, that stuff is not that great. The stuff we listen to now is awesome. It's all subjective. I understand that. You know, I was that way too. You know, if I would hear stuff from the old days and then I would hear the stuff that was from my time, I would always prefer the stuff from my time. I would relate to it more. So I'm sure, you know, the young people today are the same way I was when I was young. Anyway, that's it. Go listen to some Neil Diamond, Forever in Blue Jeans. I highly recommend it.